page. Here we go. Tory Lanez came out. I'm gonna just go to my YouTube video. Tory, and essentially, he made a statement against what's going on with him, and he sent it to he addressed the DA, the head DA, that is presided in LA County. All right. So he put out a verbal letter, and in the verbal letter, he pretty much kind of threatens to expose the motherfuckers if they don't allow him to have a new trial. And by the way, this was his caption. It says, "Everyone please let Garscon for LADA know that I deserve my freedom in a fair trial. If this injustice can happen to me, it's happening to many more minorities that don't have the finances or voice to speak up." This is what he said.
Judge Gascon, I write this message with the utmost humility, love, and respect for the remarkable steps that you've taken in regards to fighting for the justice of black and brown minorities. Today I take a stance as an innocent black man, wrongfully convicted of a crime I did not commit. I've watched two district attorneys from your office by the names of Kathy Tarr and Alex Bott unlawfully misuse their authority to hide and suppress any and all exculpatory evidence that exonerates me and furthers my innocence. I was completely robbed and deprived of a fair trial. So on May 8th, my lawyers will be arguing a motion for a new trial. Not only do I owe it to myself to fight for my freedom, but I owe it to my 6-year-old child, my family, my fans, and most importantly, the hundreds and thousands of black and Hispanic minorities that cannot adequately fight for themselves. For 3 years, the prosecution has manipulated a false narrative that has left me with no choice but to expose the practices, the behind-door deals, and the unjust system that was used to illegally convict me and countless other minorities. We elected you because of your outstanding eminence in making fair and correct judgments in the justice for people of color. So, Mr. Gascon, I come to you today as a wrongfully convicted black man, not asking for sympathy nor compassion, but for you to simply do what is fair and right in the laws of California, and most importantly, in the eyes of God.
Check it out now. Holy. All right. Let me just say, I think this is a Hail Mary move by Tory Lanez. We love Tory. I do believe that the trial that he went through wasn't the fairest thing. I mean, I think again, I wasn't there in court, and some people in court, they share different opinions than me. So you should take that with a grain of salt, what I'm going to say, because again, what matters is what is seen in court. When you watch a trial versus you read what allegedly happened on paper, or you get recaps, is different than being in the courtroom. Watching a victim cry, especially a woman, black woman at that. Watching people fumble over words, or people don't look all the way believable, or, there's a lot of things that would matter if you are there watching versus you're just kind of reading a transcript. Tory Lanez has put out this letter to the head DA of LA County, and I have to believe this is a Hail Mary attempt. I don't believe his lawyers are behind this move. Why? His lawyers have not commented on it. His lawyers are nowhere to be found. Now, granted, he is still being represented by his lawyers. They're working currently on the motion for a new trial, which will be heard May 8th. Why it's a little bit concerning is that the person he's sending this letter or open letter to is not somebody who should want to view it in his favor. This ain't the judge. This ain't the person deciding. It's the person who is the head of the office that's going to be putting up counters to every point he makes, and has done that from he got charged all the way now till where he's looking for a new trial. No DA or no head DA would say, hey, you know what, Tory has a point. My office fucked up. Give him a new case. Give him a new trial. That's like essentially saying y'all weren't doing your job. Who's going to say that? Especially when you already got the outcome that's favorable to you. They wanted him to be convicted, and he got convicted. Also, secondly, when Tory says I might be putting out more information. Again, these are people. They might look at this information and say, "Oh, word, he think he could make us look bad by putting out information or acting like whatever." Which, by the way, he might have a legit point about, especially when it comes to think about some of the things that happen. I don't know if he has proof that there were backdoor deals or back office deals or whatever. Tory's star witness, Sean Kelly, was ready to testify for Tory and supposedly was going to say that Tory did not shoot Meg. They never seen Tory with the gun in his hand, and the only person who they seen fire was a woman. The day before, or the day of, when he was supposed to testify, the prosecutor requested a meeting with Tory's witness, and when Tory's witness then later showed up to the courtroom, that witness never looked in Tory's direction nor Tory's lawyer's direction, went straight on the stand and said, "Yo, the person I saw with the gun was Tory Lanez." Or he didn't say Tory Lanez, but he said the short dude. He went everything against what Tory understood he was going to say and needed him to say. Who knows? Why would that be? Was that person threatened? Was that person, kind of, did the prosecutor say something? Who knows? Secondly, Kelsey Harris gets on the stand and says, "I was scared of the cops." Remember, that worked for Meg. When Meg said, "Oh, well, why you ain't say at first you got shot?" She said, "Well, I was scared of the cops. I want to protect the black woman." Everybody believed that. But now I'm telling the truth. That's what Meg said. When it came to Tory, and Kelsey saying, "Yo, I lied to the cops." This is what she said on the stand. "I lied to the cops about seeing Tory with the gun. I ain't see shit. My statement to them before was a lie. Now I'm telling the truth." They said, "Nah, Kelsey, now you're lying before you were telling the truth." So again, I think that's going to be part of what Tory Lanez is going to claim. I don't know if that's going to work. Now, this letter, I think, is more for awareness to hopefully get people to rally behind Tory. Because, again, I think the fact that this case has resulted in a conviction, I think some people have gotten off the bandwagon in the sense of, okay, let's rally to see if we can get this guy free. They're like, "Oh, fuck it, we already lost." I think Tory wants and desires to have that public support. We will see if that happens. But do I think calling out the DA is a good move? No. The DA ain't gonna be like, "Oh man, you said you got a kid and you deserve freedom." They hear that all the time. The only thing that can save Tory, in my opinion, are facts and a good lawyer that could present a good motion. And if that not that, it's going to be appeal. The stakes are high because he is facing deportation. But I don't know how great of a strategy it is to write a letter to the DA saying that you will expose the DA for how corrupt they've been if they don't let you off. If anything, this might give incentive and reason for the DA to double down to make sure you're convicted and you stay convicted, because then they could be like, "Well, I told you I was right. This is held up on motions to get a new trial and also held up on appeal." We will see what happens afterwards, but I do pray for Tory. But I will say, I think it is interesting that Tory's lawyers did not put any statement out. Like they did not put any statement out calling out the DA. Keep in mind, they got to try a lot of other cases in that justice system. And if they really felt that way, or if they have a history of proof that DA been doing shit like that, shit. I don't know if that's the time they would have done it, but maybe we would have saw some back end. We ain't see it, but we will see. All right. Anyway, chat. 6 hours and 18 minutes in. I want to thank y'all for watching another stream. Appreciate everybody on Rumble, like usual. I want to appreciate everybody who has, either sent in subs, donations, or whatever the case, through your regular means, or if you've been on the Negotiator page and you gifted memberships. Yes, we do memberships